Alright. Getting back into the title cards. Steam community notification.
Yeah, you can turn that off, right?
Yeah.
Really? Huh.
It's in Steam settings.
Alright, Hemingway, bring us down a little.
Pardon me for just a second.
Right. So we're going to continue, which leaves us at the beginning of the day we left off on.
So we're going to get robbed again?
Does it always work?
It doesn't always work. It just re-rolls it.
We may not get robbed at all.
So this was not an intentional thing, but this is a pro strat you can do. If you get robbed, you can save and reload to re-roll.
If you do it quick enough, there's a point at which it auto-saves.
So this time Pavel got slightly wounded instead of Bruno.
But it was the same robbery for the same things from the looks of it.
And Bruno's now glad he has a book. Did you actually take a book when you had when you were raiding?
No, but I had some books in the cabinets here.
Found one in the house.
Gotcha.
So Mark...
Bruno's just gonna sit down and eat beans for a while, looks like.
Nah, he was reading his book.
Okay.
So, we got some more stuff now. So, having just been looted, I'm considering...
Maybe patching up those holes in the wall?
Yeah, or I could have an armchair.
Yeah, armchair's good.
Now, I actually made a radio at the end of the last episode, but didn't have time to use it. At the end of,
Day 2.
Day 2, yeah.
So do you only have to board up, like, things on the first story, or can people get in through any hole in the wall?
So
it's pretty abstracted. There's kind of an invisible security stat.
Yeah, right here he's boarding up the second floor, but if you look, that's a pretty easily accessible second floor.
Yeah, that's fair. You just have to hop up the... I mean, yeah. I guess that's the whole thing. Like, you can climb up pretty much most of the house, since a lot of it is falling over.
Yep. And nice thing, it actually visibly changes the area. So now,
and also, I'm guessing you have to board up all of the places, or else your house gets too cold.
I think it does have some effect on that, yeah. So here's the radio. There's a bunch of different stations. There's the weather.
Rebel leader told us not to cross the front line. Failure to comply could start in death. The upcoming day should be nice and warm. Perfect for a stroll in the park. So where's this weather coming from?
It seems to be automated because it's always at least kind of upbeat. So there's also a classical station.
So I guess the whatever this news station is coming from, like, outside the from somewhere just beyond the fighting.
Right.
It's tough to say because it could be a government-run station.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Glory to Arstotzka and all that.
Right. So, as written, the city is called Pogoren, and the nation is called Graznavia. But it's pretty clearly a reference to Sarajevo in Bosnia.
Right, yeah. Oh hey, there's that locked cabinet.
Yep.
I'd gladly eat something.
No, you're not
Have
very
any of you guys
hungry
eaten
yet.
anything?
He's not very hungry yet, so no food for him.
So how much does food replenish? Are there, like, multiple hunger levels?
Yeah, it takes you up each meal takes you up a stage. From very hungry to nothing to well-fed.
And I think there's a starving below.
Yeah.
So do you guys take, like, stat penalties when they get to hungry or whatever?
When they get to very hungry, they start having problems. But if you make it to well-fed, then you actually get increases.
Yeah. I think there's kind of as far as I can tell, it takes the number of stresses you have. So, like, either 2 levels of hunger, or a level of hunger, and a level of sleep deprivation, or so on. Or maybe it's 3 will start to affect your performance.
Gotcha. There's a lot of mechanics that happen behind the scenes. Looks like you've mostly cleaned out your shelter now.
Yes, there is one thing we can do with it still, but that won't come for a little bit. Until I upgrade my metal workshop.
Make some guns.
So, unfortunately, you cannot build a gun from scratch.
Yeah, that's fair. That's kind of a that's sort of a specialized profession.
You need to
gun making.
You need to find a busted gun in the field.
And then you have to have weapon parts and whatever.
Yeah.
And also bullets. Like that idle animation there.
Yeah. So, the reason I keep anxiously clicking on the Upgrade Metal Workshop button is because that's how you make saw blades.
Right, and you need those to get into certain places in your, Oh man, Sniper Junction, that sounds safe.
Yeah.
Sniper Junction is fun.
Now, Sniper Junction, I believe, is a reference to a particular road in Sarajevo. It was the main thoroughfare to the airport, and it was renamed Sniper Alley by the locals.
Oh, okay.
There were a bunch of signs left after the war that said the equivalent of "Beware Sniper" in Czech. Well, here we are in the supermarket.
Oh. So you gotta watch out for raiders?
Yep, but luckily enough, these are just scavengers. And they have their eye on me.
Yeah, they watch you.
They don't care so long as you're not, like, fucking with them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there should be enough for both of us.
We're having our own little, what was it called, that game show?
Supermarket sweep?
That's the one.
Yeah, they do take the most valuable stuff when they get to it.
Right, yeah. That's why you need your dude to... So they will occasionally raid your stash if you keep it there?
Yeah, that's... The stash, like, the one there is where they stole from me one game.
Right.
Well, the stuff I left on the ground anyway. I guess I can't really get too upset.
Oh, they're actually, like, fully armed, too.
Yeah, it's not wise to start an attack on these guys.
Like, it looks like that guy in the first floor is rocking an AK there.
Yeah, I think he is.
Have you ever gotten the other version of the supermarket?
I have.
Yeah.
So there's
What is the other version of the supermarket?
There's another version of the supermarket where instead of the other scavengers, right about where that guy is standing, there is a soldier trying to drag a girl to a shed in the backyard.
Ooh.
And you can choose to intervene or not. But he is fully armed.
He will just shoot you.
Right.
If you do manage to take him down, it can severely change the course of your game because he has a fully operational assault rifle.
Right, and probably like, what, 8 clips?
He has a fair amount of ammo for it, yeah. And the ammo in this game is all abstracted to be,
Yeah, it's charges spent to wound things.
Yeah. Now here, on the right here, that line on the wall. I'm your best friend, I kill you for nothing. That is a reference with a complicated history. I did some research on that. And there was actually a sign, I believe, found in Bosnia with those lines on it dated for the start of the Bosnian War. But the origin of that line is from a Marx Brothers movie called The Coconuts. Where basically Chico's talking to Harpo and he says, I'm so hungry I'd kill for money. I'd kill you for money. No, I'm your best friend. I kill you for nothing.
That's a very obtuse reference to show up in just like Bosnia.
Yeah. Of course, it took on a different meaning at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I imagine so.
So, here's the shed that gets really weird in an alternate universe.
Yeah, it's got a bed in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. You guys gonna find a lot up there on the roof.
Yeah, that guy's looking in the wrong place.
I think that's their exit. They're probably leaving.
Yeah, I don't think
You
I
can
see
go over
them
the
after
shed
this.
to get to an exit.
Is it also possible that people will arrive on the scene after you show up?
Sometimes. It depends on the different random events that can happen in each zone.
Sure.
I have had times
So
where
every area has a predetermined number of events that will occur in it.
yeah, there have been times when I've been like knee deep in a resource zone and just soldiers swarm it.
Really? I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's bad.
Huh.
I've lost Marco that way before.
Is that like a thing? Like, can like a skirmish just happen in a place that you're in?
I've actually never seen two sides fighting each other before. It always seems to be you against them.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. It's night, and one side probably owns this place now.
Not if you're me, though. In 4 playthroughs, I have never killed a person.
Yeah. Ooh, broken rifle. And broken helmet.
Broken vegetables.
It'll be good money or useful later.
Or I'll leave it in a pile and it'll get stolen.
Maybe that's what'll happen.
A broken helmet seems only slightly less functional than a fully
pot.
intact helmet.
I don't know. I think a bad helmet is probably more dangerous than a than no
Okay,
helmet.
it depends on how broken it is.
Yeah.
So if you look at it, it's got chunks missing out of it.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a chunk missing out of the top.
And if I remember correctly, things that are meant to protect against ballistics are basically like wet cardboard to future attacks once you break their structural integrity.
Yeah, well, I thought most helmets didn't even, like, most military helmets are designed to stop shrapnel. Like, they're not
Yeah.
even...
It's really hard to
you're not
stop
gonna-
a bullet.
Yeah, you're not going to stop a bullet with that. Except in that rare case, Saving Private Ryan, where the edge of his helmet deflects a bullet, so then he takes his helmet off to look at the bullet that was deflected and gets shot in the head.
Right.
We're all quiet on the Western Front.
Well, in that, you could use your E-tool to split a man's head open like a melon.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So-
I believe it was. I think it was in the movie Black Hawk, or in the book for Black Hawk Down that I read this. The special forces in Somalia would actually throw away their helmets and replace them with sports helmets. I think they'd actually use plastic batter helmets, or maybe hockey helmets, because they were more effective at deflecting bullets than the standard issue ones.
Oof.
Yeah, I thought, like, I thought I thought most of that armor was designed to kind of ablate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just sort of shatters and sends things in different directions.
Well, that's one of the things, like, like, Class 4 armor vests right now just have a steel plate in them to stop rifle rounds. The problem is that when a bullet hits a steel plate, it shatters, and it sends shrapnel at everybody around you, and also, like, at your face.
Mm-hmm.
So they're replacing it with this weird composite carbon fiber thing that just dissolves as it gets hit by bullets. Because the alternate to that is you have a plate of ceramic. The problem is, after a plate of ceramic gets hit once, it can take maybe 2 or 3 more bullets, and then it stops absorbing bullets.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're just wearing, like, a suit full of broken glass at
a
that
sack
point.
full of powder.
But that's one of the things. Like, this is a thing that is like really densely packed sand, and it only loses pieces of itself as where the bullets hit it as the bullets hit it. Or alternately, there's that thing like I think it's called dragon scale.
Right.
That is made from like hundreds of interlocking ceramic like plates. I think it's too expensive to. I don't think it was ever really fully deployed. It was just one of those things. It's like, look, this is a future weapon. I remember there was I think the Discovery Channel show Future Weapon showed off that it could even stop a grenade that you were sitting on, provided that. Well, I mean, never mind the fact that the blast wave would probably have liquefied your insides.
Yeah. I think part of it is, generally, if you're going to be hit twice in the helmet, you probably already cheated once. Probably cheated death one time.
Probably.
You can't count on it twice.
Oh, those are some quality roll-ups I just picked up. They're
Take them
different.
home so Bruno could smoke them up.
They're different levels of quality of cigarette that are more effective at
Nice.
satiating the needs.
I remember that was
worth
the thing.
more money.
Yeah.
Talking about post-war or I guess wartime Eastern Europe. I think that was a thing at the fall of the Soviet Union. There were a number of it was the fall of East Berlin, I think.
Right.
That cigarettes actually became a currency because the Soviet cigarettes, everybody hated those, but they loved the American and proper Russian cigarettes.
Right.
In fact, well, I mean, cigarettes were kind of how the Russian mafia came into power. Like, that's the origin of the cigarette boat and all that kind of stuff.
Marco does not seem to be in a good mood.
He's just very hungry. Pavel's got
As
some
is
stuff.
everybody.
All this shelling, sniper fire, and lack of supplies makes you want to hide away, sit down and cry. We can't let them crush our spirit. We have to show them they can't take away our dignity. Show them how we do it on our street. Are there any animals left in the city? I'm so hungry I'd eat a rat.
Oh, Bruno.
So he's gonna go cook. Marco's gonna sleep off his hunger pangs. Gotta make some fuel.
I actually did a lot of reading a while back. There was a book that I was reading called McMafia, which is about how specifically like UN regulation and the sternness of the Soviet Union's adherence to what they called communism, but was actually kind of socialism, led to the rise of the Russian mafia. Because like one of the things was that all of the different countries in the Union were considered a different state, and so they thought they could create the perfect workers' paradise by saying, like by taking a country and saying, you make this now. But the problem is that like all of their electronics were being made in a nation that was prominently occupied by farmers.
Uh-oh. We have a visitor.
A moral choice.
Also, the problems have intensified because Pavla is no longer just slightly wounded, he's also gotten slightly sick.
Ooh, that's not a good anything.
But we have food now.
How many double meals? You made 8?
I made 4 double meals, which makes 8 meals.
Okay, so now you actually get day missions too.
Yes, this is Agata, who wants me to help pull people out of a hospital. Marco is too tired for that.
You gonna send Pavel?
I'm gonna send Bruno once he's done cooking.
Once he's done cooking 8 meals?
Yes. Don't worry, he'll get to eat. So this is another little trick from this war of mine. You can't cook while there are meals outstanding. But if you have a meal, looters can't take it.
What?
Once it's prepared, looters won't steal it.
Yeah, looters can't take meals out of your pot. So you want to make as much food as possible at any given time.
That seems like the first thing I'd steal, but like that's like your Goldilocks strat.
Well, I mean, it's the sort of thing where, you know, the looters are coming through, taking what they can and running, so they're just looting the fridge.
Yeah, they don't have time to put the pot into Tupperwares.
All right, there goes
I guess
Bruno.
yeah, they can't find your bowls and your ladle.
Shell hit our shelter, we could be in a similar situation. They could count on us, I hope we can count on them.
Yeah, people who don't go are also affected by the choices you make.
Right. So, because I sent someone there, everyone's going to get a little bonus to their happiness. But I lose Bruno for the rest of the day.
Sure. Fortunately, everybody's in pretty okay shape, and Bruno did the one thing that he can do.
Yeah.
Is it possible for, like, your survivors to die on the day missions?
On the night missions, they can.
Right, because you're actually in control there. I wasn't sure if there was an RNG element where it's like, you sent Bruno out and a shell hit him on the way.
I've never seen someone fail to come back from one of the missions, but the real downside to it is, you don't get them for the night either. So you don't get a guard or a scavenger.
Sure. And especially when you're only at 3 people, that's a major detriment.
Yeah, let's check the radio.
Yeah, let's see how the war's going.
Don't cross the front line.
So do you have to like manually find all the stations, or is the game doing this?
You spin the dial yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
The light turns on when you get to a station, though.
Right, right.
And funnily enough, the locations on the dial of the stations is randomly generated from instance to
From day to
instance.
day.
Not from day to day,
okay.
from playthrough to playthrough.
Okay, that makes more sense. If it was day to day, I'm like, what is this radio? Also, I guess I can't. Oh, hey, he got better.
Yep, not tired anymore.
Also, I guess I can't like talk. I guess I can't talk down the ingenuity of our guys for not being able to build a radio with preset buttons.
Yeah, they built this from scratch.
Yeah, this is like what is it? The professor from Gilligan's Island level. I have this collection of diodes and a coconut.
Alright, where are we going today? Let's go somewhere safe.
Huge amounts of parts, lots of meds.
Yeah,
I'm guessing this is like this is coming off of rumors.
yeah, it gives you a general idea of what's there.
And I'm guessing all the stuff like the really dangerous places don't run out as fast.
Yeah, the
They
really
tend to have
dangerous
more
places
there.
have lots of stuff.
Well, but also, as the game goes on, you start to clear out the safe places.
Right, yeah.
So we're going to Sniper Junction.
What's your function?
Now, it's interesting you mentioned scavengers, or black market people a second ago. Because supposedly that's what saved the city of Sarajevo during the siege. Basically, there was an arms embargo, which was disproportionately hurting the defenders of the city because the people attacking could smuggle in arms from outside, but they were stuck in the middle of the country.
Right.
So there was still municipal construction going on during the war, and they completed the Sarajevo Tunnel, through which a great number of black market salesmen came in and supplied the guns necessary to fight off the invaders. So you might notice the sounds of gunfire.
Yeah, I'm noticing. I keep thinking I'm seeing bullets kind of hitting areas, but I think it's just the. Oh no,
No, you are
out.
seeing exactly that.
Yeah, there's a sniper, and if you look carefully, you can see the window he's in the hotel back there. But he definitely keeps shooting at you and trying to take you out.
Yeah,
So is there like it seems like he shoots at a regular interval.
he does.
Yep.
You gotta move from cover to cover. And now we're safe. Which is nice.
Until we have to go back.
There's a
So I'm
sewer
guessing
tunnel.
you can open. So you can open up the sewer and get through.
It gets you to
back.
halfway.
It gets you to where that
Right.
guy asked for help.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that was a one thing that actually surprised me, and it makes sense that that in a pinch when everything is blocked, suddenly the mafia becomes your go-to because they're really good at getting around everything. I remember that was a thing that really surprised me was that the Russian mafia. I guess I didn't realize how much I did not understand about organized crime until then. Because one of the things was I always thought muscle was kind of your enforcers, but they're really just kind of guys that intimidate everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're called
Muscle
muscle because they get things done.
Yeah, like muscle. A lot of muscle for the Russian mafia. One of the things was that in Russia, wrestlers for some reason are very valued athletes and very famous. And during the Soviet era, most of them ended up working for the mob just because they were intimidating, as they are big burly men who were good at fighting.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I think a number of footballers also joined, or no, it was rugby players. Oh hey, he'll let you into his place. Oh no, there's a baby. Are we gonna get into a MASH situation?
Which mass situation?
You know the one.
Well, it's his kid. He mentioned he needed to get to his baby.
Okay. Like, I'm guessing there's not going to be a point where soldiers are coming and we have to decide whether we're going to, like, smother the baby to keep the soldiers from noticing the baby crying.
Nah, luckily. So here he's unlocking his flat.
Oh, wow, he's actually got electricity still, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the place is lit.
Actually, yeah, there's lighting all around, so this place hasn't been too badly damaged. Hasn't been shelled, it's more like infantry infighting, I guess.
Score.
Just steal all of his jewels.
Nah, did you see what he said?
He said, take
Oh, did he
whatever
say-
you want.
He said there's a box under the bed. Take whatever you need.
Sure. I always remember that's just to go to a wildly different game. I remember that was a thing in Super Mario RPG. That there's a house there. There's a city where everybody's getting frozen by these arrows this guy's shooting. And if you talk to somebody outside, he'll say, "I hope the treasures in the basement are safe." And if you actually go in his basement and steal all his treasure, then he'll when the event is over, he will actually like get really mad at you for stealing all his stuff when he couldn't protect his place. And that was a weird little touch in, a really like light game. Also, sounds like the sniper got bored.
Nah, he hasn't seen you again yet.
Yeah,
I don't think he ever gets
So
tired.
is there
he's
there a way to
relentless.
like how do you aggro him and not just get shot?
Like that. If you're in cover near the edge, he'll start shooting at you.
Okay. And then it's just all about timing because he always shoots every like couple of seconds.
Yeah, there's some variance though,
Right.
which is scary. Damn it. Bars.
Oh,
More saws.
it's fine. There's still plenty of stuff you can just break into with your crowbar.
Man, you were pushing the time tonight.
Yeah, I know.
When do you have to go home?
5
6
Might
a.m.?
end.
6
or
a.m.?
5 a.m. Yeah.
And when does the what happens if you're not back to start when the night ends?
You know how it says Marco is home?
Mm-hmm.
You show up late and tired and maybe wounded if you show up at all.
Okay, so that's when there's a chance you'll just get killed on the way back.
I think there is a chance of that, yes.
Huh. I haven't had that happen, although I'm usually very careful.
It depends, I think, on the danger of the zone you get trapped in. Like if you get stuck in the middle of a house full of gunmen hiding in a corner.
Right, yeah. Or if you're in, something like Sniper Alley where there's probably going to be a lot of fighting during the day.
Right. So,
much
luckily, once most of the stuff has been shipped to the start of the level, you get a few days of relative safety and comfort because you can just sort of live off of what you picked up.
Right, yeah. And that's why you do a run with somebody like Marco or Pavel who can just dump everything at the start, and then you send somebody who can carry everything like Marco or
Yeah, just
Marco.
bring Marco always. Now, Boris has a problem with that level.
Well, yeah.
Well, we can talk
I
about
guess we'll
that
talk
later.
about that next time.